afternoon, distinguished speakers, dear participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for attending our second session of our Global Art Creativity Conference, Bali-Bhuwana, Waskita, for today, Wednesday, the 29th of September, 2021. And no further ahead, for now, I will pass down the conference to our lovely, beautiful moderator for today, Ibu Niluh Ayu Cempaka Dewi.
Right, thank you very much from our Master of Ceremony, Ibu Tisna. And thank you for the time that is given to me for this very great opportunity. So I am a moderator, I'm Cempaka. I will be here to have some of the speakers who is coming for these second sessions of this Global Art Creativities Conference, Bali-Bhuwana Waskita. And for this session, I would like to give some of the name of the presenters for the second session. For the first one, we will have Bapak Dr. Iwayan Karja, MFA, and then for the second speaker would be Ibu Dr. Nikotut Dewi Yulianti, and then the third speaker will be Mr. Igor Amanajas, and then the fourth speaker is Desa Putu Yogi Antari, MSN. Well, without any further ado, I would like to invite Bapak Dr. Iwayan Karja, MFA, who is the lecturer of ISI Denpasar in Fine Arts Study Program in the Faculty of Fine Arts and Design ISI Denpasar. Bapak Dr. Karja. Yes, we would like to invite Bapak Dr. Iwayan Karja. Yes, Bapak. How are you today, Bapak?
Thank you. Very fine. Thank you.
Yeah, very fine. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will give you the time to present your presentation, which entitled Color Healing the Balinese Mandala Color in Painting Practice. The time is yours, Bapak.
Thank you for your time and good afternoon. Let me share my screen, the title of my presentation. Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. The title of the presentation is Color Healing, but the Balinese colors in painting practice. I would like to share how the painting become significant tools in order to heal using the traditional Balinese color we call Mandala. Before we talk about the ideas, color heal or color healing, what is color? That's my first question actually to myself. What is color? This is sound very ordinary, very common thing, but actually it's very essential, very significant because we cannot live without color. We cannot live without color. Color is life. Color is energy. Color is invisible. Color reflects energetical molecules, objects. But color is divine. Color is divine. That's in Balinese culture, in the religious context. Color is very significant. Imagine light without color, or the world black and white. Before we see sunrise, everything is dark. Before we see the sun, first thing in the morning, it's the perspective of our life is close within, because no attraction outside, which is very, very dark. That's the nature give us nurturing. For example, if we go to the rice field, when with fresh green baby rice field, that's such a strong power to give us a life energy with the first light in the morning. But in our culture, in its tradition, color has a significant meaning, which is every direction has color. For example, east, the color is white. West, the color is yellow. South, the color is red. And then north, the color is black. The reason I put white on the top, it's to count light, to study about light. Number one, white relates to the sun, to the energy of life. So I put white on the top. Besides the Balinese mandala, we also have chakra colors. Start from the red Muladhara, the first chakra. They use that to heal, to balance life. Research question: why does color heal? And need contemplation for me, this question. Why does color heal? Live with us every day. How to utilize Balinese mandala color to heal? This is related to art practice. As a painter, teach this, how to use this color as important tool, important media to transform our inner peace, our inner feeling. And then what is the implication of color healing? What is the implication of color healing? And then after practice how to use color, and we need to get a feedback. The feedback is mostly through contemplation, observation, and also meditating in order to get the implication, the benefit, how to sharpening our sensitivity. The reference I use is, of course, color healing, and my most recent book, Cosmology Bali, and Usada Bali is also explained about how important colors in Balinese tradition. Color healing, color is starting from dark to light, to white, which is in some belief, black and white is not color. Consider the absence of light and full of light. Color is tone, developing into sound and form. To understand self-existence, about the balance of the universe. Color has a treatment, the divine light energy. This is according to the Balinese tradition, divine light energy. This is related to how Dewa, our God, give us love through light. And color reflects a personality. Color as a symbolic religious belief. And then the last but not least, the most important thing is related to our human emotion. Some artists or some Balinese practice that's how to balance self through mandala colors, which is all colors when we turn around. This is Western tradition in order to play with colors. All colors when we turn around become white. To turn all the colorful life around through meditation can become white. White symbolizes the clearness, clarity, and also the peacefulness because of the balance between microcosm and macrocosm. And in art practice, they also use the calligraphy. Balinese calligraphy on ancient tradition, ancient script, we call law, and also use to explain how important relate to human body, color relate to ourselves in the body, and also inner organ. So the color we can use for him. Practice, studio practice, painting, practice using the Balinese mandala color. We start from opening of the session, which is connecting the daily reality and how to guide the so they understand how to play, flow, freedom. And number one is play, flow, freedom. That's the first step. Because we need to play to bring ourselves back into our childhood and don't forget how to play and let it flow and enjoy the freedom. And if we can free, and this is the soil, the field of healing. And then after that, we practice the art making. Also play is very important part. And then alternative world of experience, decentering, play or ritual oriented, and then based on fall or close of the team. This is keeping the distance. Sometimes we need the distance, sometimes we need to the team. And then aesthetic analysis, recognizing the imaginary reality. Bridging is also very important, bridging, harvesting. We talk with the participant and also recollecting the reality. And we're trying to discuss while the process, ongoing process, we also trying to give a personal approach, inner dialogue with what they're doing or how we appreciating the process. Closing of the session, connecting back to the opening of the session. If it's necessary, sometimes we give homework so that they can practice at home. The light of the client, in this case, is participant. Habitual world experience is challenge. That's the painting practice. And then how we practice and the process of bringing mandala colors into a personal practice or into the art practice. Imagine light and time. Light and time. First light is the dawn in the morning or 6 o'clock. After that, noon, the color is red, powerful, creativity, and also the end of the day, aesthetic response, the color yellow, and then midnight, it's contemplate. And this is the cycle of the cosmic work. The cosmic realm, the circulation is like that. So we also follow that. In order to balance microcosm and macrocosm, at least we follow this kind of rhythm.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Yes.
Bapak Wenkaja, we have only 10 minutes, and I think I just give you 1 more minute to explain a little bit for the conclusion.
Okay, thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you, no problem. Play, flow, be free. Play, flow, freedom. Yeah, this is how it look like when it play and flow. And then also the results. And how to use the color mandala. Okay, the implication, it's bring the balance and harmony. That's the bottom line. And it's the impact, someone broken heart, And after that, they're trying to make it like this pen. And this is how someone miss the fishbowl and need the space, bigger space in life. I think this kind of practice can be done. And also the conclusion is also back into the how bring energy to our daily life. And then let me one more final word. The wave, the water. The color is not the force. But through the color, we can feel the force. The force is the creator. Okay, for further discussion or article request, please email. And thank you. The time I give it back to moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bapak Dr. Iwan Karja, for a very excellent presentations. And that's very interesting that we're talking about the color, which I can conclude that from the presentations from Dr. Iwan Karja, that the color not only creates sensations, but also conjure the energies. And the color is light and energy in the Balinese Mandala, which has microcosmic dimensions that penetrates our body and helps in overall rebalancing. That's very interesting. So we would like to have the Q&A for any questions that will dedicate it to Bapak Dr. Iwan Karja after we have the fourth speaker already present for today. So thank you very much, Bapak Dr. Iwan Karja. And for the next speaker,
thank you.
Yes, for the next speaker, we will introduce, or we will invite this wonderful lecturer, English teacher, English lecturer in Karawitan Study Program of Performing Art Faculty of UC Denpasar, Ibu Dr. Niketut Dewi Yulianti. Okay, Ibu Dr. Dewi Yulianti. Hello, Om Swastiastu. Okay, how are you? With a
I'm pretty good, thank you, my beautiful moderator.
Thank you. You too. You look great with the yellow as always.
As always.
Okay.
Yellow is aesthetic, Pak Karja said just now.
That's right. That's right. It's very related from our speaker before, the previous speaker from Bapak Dr. Iwan Karja. Well, I just want to give you about 10 minutes only for the presentations, Ibu Dr. Dewi Yulianti, and I will give the time fully for you. Please, time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Cempaka. Purwaning atur Om Swastiastu. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Shalom, Rahayu. Okay, let me share my screen then. Okay, can you see my share screen,
Yes.
Ms. Cempaka?
Yes, very clearly, and you can have the presentation.
All right. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dewi Yulianti. I am, as mentioned just now by the moderator, I'm from Karawitan Study Program, Performing Art Faculty, UC Denpasar, or the Indonesian Institute of the Art. In my paper, I am here with Ayu Jessica or Jessica Sita Devi, and then the title of my presentation today is The Cultural Values of Figure of Speech in the Text Brahma Satisfies Lord Shiva. Okay, all right. Well, I would like to divide my presentation into 4 parts. The first one is about introduction, the second one is about the method, the third one is about discussion, and then the last one but not least is about the conclusion. All right, now here we go, the introduction. So the terms figurative expression is a stylistic device using words in distinctive ways that achieve special effects. And the aim of the study is to show that religious text Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva conveys Balinese cultural value, namely the values contained in the concept of Trihita Karana, Well, just like the aim of establishing style in some literary works, figurative expression also occur in the religious text, and they are very powerful tool for expressing cultural values. Well, why figurative expression and why it is about the cultural value? It is in line with what Meke explained, that the relation between culture and language is very sturdy, or in other words, language itself cannot be separated from the culture. And the other one, all of us already knows about nilai-nilai dalam pendidikan karakter according to Kemendiknas. It include 18 aspects, and then the first aspect is about religious aspect or religious value in our national education. That is why I'm really interested in analyzing any religious text, ladies and gentlemen. Well, so the inspiration was coming from my research, my previous research with my colleague, with Bapak Dr. Igusti Ngurah-Sudibyo and also Bapak Ketut Sumerjana. So my research and art creation, which is funded by Dipa Isi Denpasar. So thank you Isi Denpasar, thank you Director of Isi Denpasar. So the research is about religious text as well. The title or the name of the text is Sati Quits Her Body, and then it's already created into a dance drama in English, and then we have done the tapping, and then because now we are still in pandemic COVID-19, so we couldn't invite viewers. We just did the tapping, and then this Saturday night we're gonna perform this dance drama in English in a Zoom meeting. So ladies and gentlemen, if you desire, you may attend, you may come, you may watch, and then we would like to share the link later on. This is a bit promotion, Ms. Cempaka, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
It will
So,
be really interesting.
this paper is significant for those who are engaged in text, for puppeteers maybe, and also artists who love to use figure of speech in their performances. There are two main topics in this discussion, or in this paper. The first one is about the types of figure of speech in Brahma satisfied Lord Siwa, and the second one is how the Balinese cultural value Trihita Karana are conveyed by the figure of speech in Brahma satisfied Lord Siwa. Okay, the method is usual. The data taken from a religious text entitled Brahma Satisfies Lord Siwa, and then the data was collected through library research, and the collected data were analyzed based on the theory applied. The first one is about figurative expression, and the second one about cultural element proposed by Brown 2010. Okay, this is the discussion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before analyzing the cultural value of the text, which is also including the figurative expression, we need to know the synapses of the text. Here we go. So after Sati, the consort of Lord Siwa, quits her body. So this is the text that I analyzed, that we researched previously until we made a dance drama in English, Sati quits her body. And Lord Siwa is furious and destroys the sacrifices made by Daksa. And then Lord Brahma advised the demigods to go to Lord Siwa and beg his pardon. Brahma also asserted that none of the conditioned souls, including himself and all the demigods, could know how to satisfy Lord Siwa. But he said, it is known that he is very easily satisfied, so let us try to satisfy him by falling at his lotus feet. Lord Siwa is also called Asutosa, which means that easily or to become satisfied very easily. The demigods were advised to go to Lord Siwa and beg his pardon, and because he is very easily pleased, it was certain that their purpose would be served. Lord Brahma knew the mind of Lord Siwa very well, and he was confident that the demigods who were offenders at his lotus feet could mitigate their offenses by going to him and surrendering without reservation. All right, so this is also one of the picture taken when we did the tapping for our dance drama. And this is the finding. There are 6 types of figurative expression occur in the text Brahma satisfied Lord Shiva. They are antithesis, paradox, personification, metonymy, repetition, and simile. These 6 types of figurative expression convey connotation related to Balinese cultural values, namely the values contained in the concept of Trihitakarana or 3 causes of happiness. The concept of Trihitakarana is a concept about living in harmony with God, with each other, and with nature. And the special finding here, this is not actually proposed by, this is not my new finding actually, because I put in my paper compare with Radhanath Swami 2019. I have found here this concept of Trihitakarana will be more beautiful when human being can practice the concept of living in harmony with themselves. So we'll have the concept, new concept of harmony with our own self. Because in my opinion, if we have living in harmony with ourselves, of us, in ourselves, so we will be able to have the 3 living harmony, the other 3 living harmony. So if we are happy, if we have peaceful mind, so we will be able to have harmony with God and then with each other and also with the nature.
Thank you, Ibu Dewi. I think
Yes.
we have only 1 more minute for the conclusions. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. All right. I know that. Okay. So the example for the figurative expression I found. So like, okay, let me explain only one and then I will come to the conclusion. So Lord Brahma was smiling because he knew that Lord Shiva is not only easily satisfied but easily irritated as well. So this is the figurative expression. The name is antithesis, used in the text, and then it convey the cultural value of Balinese cultural value. I mean the Trihitakarana. Since his heart is full of love and sincerity, Lord Shiva is easily satisfied. Okay, this is the example of living in harmony from Lord Shiva, but we are human being, we are part and parcel of God. So actually we can have a similar relationship with God and with nature and also with each other, like what Lord Shiva has conducted. Okay, then Ms. Champaka, I'm so sorry, then I come to the conclusion. So the 6 types of figurative expression, maybe ladies and gentlemen, you can read in my full paper in the proceeding of this international seminar. All right. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. So the conclusion, there are 6 types of figurative expression occur in the text Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva. They are antithesis, paradox, personification, metonymy, repetition, and simile. These 6 types of figurative language convey connotation related to Balinese cultural value, namely the values contained in the concept of Trihitakarana, the 3 causes of happiness. The concept of Trihitakarana is a concept about living in harmony with God, with each other, and with nature. And the other finding of mine, of us, the concept of Trihitakarana will be more beautiful when human being can practice the concept of living in harmony with themselves. And this is last but not least, the concept of living in harmony with oneself is called self-realization. Self-realization means that we are not this body, we are spirit soul that are part and parcel of God, with the goal of life is to serve God. And the second one, figurative language is a very powerful tool for expressing cultural values. In brief, the 6 types of figure of speech appears to be powerful tool in the text Brahma satisfied Lord Shiva to express Balinese cultural values, namely the Trihitakarana, the 3 causes of happiness. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much, Ms. Champaka, the moderator. It's more than 10 minutes, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Ibu Dr. Nikata Dewi Yulianti, for what an outstanding presentations with the bright color and then bright also from the presenter. Thank you very much. The title of the presentations was The Cultural Values of of speech in the text Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva, which is related to the cultural values and also the figurative language, figurative speech. And also we have the Trihita Karana, which means that three causes of happiness that conveyed by the figure of speech, which is very presented as well in the presentations. Thank you very much once again for the outstanding presentations. And we're moving on next to
Recording in
our
progress.
speaker. Okay, and I would like to invite Mr. Igor Amanajas. So, yes,
Hello.
Mr. Igor. Yes, hello, Mr. Igor. How are you?
Halo, I'm good. Good afternoon.
Good
Selamat siang,
afternoon.
Rahat Semang semuanya.
Selamat siang. Ya, baik ya. Sehat?
Sehat, selalu sehat. Let me share my screen.
Okay. So, Mr. Igor Amanajas, so from Campinas University in Sao Paulo,
Recording
Brazil.
stopped.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The presentation entitled From Amazon to Bali, A Journey Through Myths. Okay, well, you're ready with your presentation? You're ready with your PowerPoints? I will give the times to you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the opportunity for get the chance to share this research. Well, this paper is entitled From Amazon to Bali, A Journey Through Myths. It's a small segment of what it is right now, my research, my PhD research. So let me introduce myself a little better. I'm a Brazilian actor, which my master's studies were regarding the art of the topeng actor. And now my PhD studies are regarding interculturality and Balinese dances as well. So this PhD research comes from a question that haunts me for the past 11 years. The 11 years are the time that I've been researching and training Balinese dances and dramas in Umakodo, in the village of Batuan. So the question is, why do I dance Balinese dances? And that's the major question of my PhD that I try to answer through dance and through the Balinese traditional dances and dramas, including interculturality experiments. So first of all, what is Amazon? Amazon is a region from Brazil, as you can see in the map. It's a rainforest. So it takes like the north part of Brazil, the place that I was born. So in Amazonia, still now, all the culture that has in there comes from the original indigenous tribes. So that's my heritage. That's my origins, my roots. So when I think about cross cultures and trying to understand why I dance Balinese dance, something coming to my mind, why don't I use the Balinese dances that I've been working from the past 11 years to tell a little bit about my roots, my story, my people? But when I think about doing that, some other questions arise. For example, how can art, dance, creations experience interculturality in a way that none of the cultures lose the roots, maintaining the traditional knowledge? It means, how can I cross cultures without losing their roots, both mine, both Balinese? Or which elements in an intercultural art creation can be readjusted, readapted, integrate or cross it, and how it can be done, respecting the original traditions? So for the dance to be recognized by the audience, what we can adjust, or what we can and what is not possible to adjust, like what we cannot change from the cultures. And most of all, when the experiments, the creations are ready, will the Balinese audience relate to those myths which do not belong to the traditional mythology, even those are inspired in local ones? So I decided to create 4 characters that belongs to the Amazon Brazilian mythology. So all of them are going to be solo dances that are independent from each other. The first one is called Machinta Pereta. So I'm going to tell you what this character, what this myth is. Machinta Pereta is a bird of omen that flies over the houses and screaming this terrible sound. And it lands on a rooftop of a house and doesn't stop until the owner of the house promises it like tobacco or coffee or fish. In the other day, the bird returns to get his presents, what was promised to him, but he's no longer a bird, he's an old witch. And this old witch, she will collect the presents, but if the owner of the house doesn't give her the presents, she will haunt the house forever. So this is the first one, myth that I'm gonna work. And these works are gonna be, so I gather some artists, Balinese artists that I want to work with. So Madereda, from Batuan is going to do the costume. Padewa Mandra is going to make the masks. Padma and his daughter, Iketut Marinsi, are going to do the choreography. And Panyoman Karyasa and if his group, like Pindasari, are going to make new gamelan. But in order to do that, I organized a meeting with those artists to explain them the ideas. And my idea was not just to cross mythologies, but to cross elements inside the dance. For example, costume, masks, like elements inside those, those elements from the costume. So in order for them to understand what I was doing, I had to show them what is my culture. So this is what you see now are Marajuana Patterns. These are patterns made for indigenous tribes from my region. And here are some seeds and roots that I brought from Brazil. So I would like them to incorporate those patterns, seeds, roots in the costume or in the galungan. And here also is original dance from Brazil named carimbo, and that's how the costume is. And so I introduced to Nioman Karyasa a little bit of the sound, what the sound of my culture sounds like. And these are some women from my homeland, and because I want them to be inspired by those women to do the mask, the confection, all of that. So here is the process of making the mask of the old woman. I decided that this character would be portrayed by 2 masks, 2 independent choreographies. So the first one would be the bird, and the second one would be the old witch. So this is the process of the mask, taking consideration some images from illustrations and also the physiognomy of the women of my birth town. And this is the bird, also inspired by Garuda, yeah. And this is how the artists, they interpreted the things, the elements from my culture that I gave to them. So you can see, this is the crown of the bird. So instead of precious stones that normally have in all the crowns in Balinese dance, the seeds, like guarana seeds, acai berry seeds, were implemented in the galungan. And also in the saput of the old woman, no longer Balinese motifs are printed in there, but the prints from the Marajuana patterns. So this is the first composition of what you see on the left is the first composition of the costume. The costume is not ready yet completely. So what I'm gonna show to you now is a fragment of the choreography. This was recorded 2 days ago with 80% of the costume. And it was the first time that I used the costume in a training section. So, of course, from now on, the choreography has to be rethought again and readjusted to the elements of the costume. And it was already done when I received the mask. So it had to be adapted before, and now it needs to be readapted again. So I'm gonna put, this is the bird choreography. And just a little bit also of, I'm sorry, and just a little bit also of the witch, the old woman choreography.
Okay, can you move on to the conclusion, Mr. Igor?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm concluding now.
Yes.
Just for you to see, like the wig of the witch is not made of horse hair or synthetic hair. It's made of the roots that are brought from Brazil, and trying to do this intersection between elements, Balinese elements and my elements. So I don't have any conclusion to tell you right now because it's
Okay.
still a process. It's
Okay.
not done yet.
Okay.
And my conclusion will come after it is presented to Balinese people and see if the Balinese can relate to those characters, to those myths, even if it's the structure and all the ensemble is based on the traditional dances and dramas of Bali. Thank you so much for your attention and your time. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was really impressive presentations from Igor Amanjas, right? So Mr. Igor Amanjas was presented with the title From Amazon to Bali, A Journey Through the Myths. Which aims to report the practical intercultural experiences in the experimental choreographies creations relating the characters from the Brazilian Amazonian culture under the structure and movement basis belonging to traditional Balinese masks and dramas. Thank you very much for a very impressive presentations. We can have a further more discussions after we have for the questions and answer after the fourth speaker. And also we will give a time for 30 minutes only for later on if you have any questions to four of our speakers later on. All right, and for the last speaker that we have for today, I would like to welcome Desa Putu Yogi Antari MSN. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ibu.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Ibu Desa Putu Yogi. Yogi, yeah. You can call you Yogi. Okay, Yogi, how are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. And how are you?
Okay, I'm so excellent to be here because I will have a lot of information about the, the presentations from all of the speakers for today. So your presentations entitled Ulam Asu Advocacy Against the Dog Meat Trade in Bali.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So without any further ado, I will give the time to you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I will start a share screen. Can you see it?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, I will start. So it's really great today I can be here to present my writing. And so the title is Ulam Asu, Advocacy Against Dog Meat Trade in Bali. Here is the introduction. Ulam Asu is a documentary movie released in 2018 representing the reality of the dog meat trade in Bali. So this movie is directed by Putu Raditya Pandit, which is a former student of ISI Denpasar. And Ulam Asu aims to resist media to the dog meat trade. Based on the regulation of the Directorate General of Livestock and Animal Health, dog meat is not included in the food category because it's not a product of livestock or forestry. And Raditya Pandit, as a director of Ulam Asu, felt the need to reveal all the stories relate to the dog meat trade in Bali in the form of a documentary so that it can be used in the movement against dog meat consumption. So what is Bali dogs? The existence of dogs in Bali cannot be separated from the life of the Balinese people. Apart from being pets and housekeepers, dogs also have a role in Balinese culture, one of which is the existence of dog as means of charu ceremony, which is a part of yajna ceremony, a part of Balinese culture and religious ceremony. And about a Bali dog, Dr. Lawrence Blair, a British anthropologist who has spent more than 25 years in Indonesia, stated that the Bali dog is a very special dog because of its pure genetics. Different from other breeds of dogs, the Bali dog is suspected of being a proto-canine or pure-bred dog that evolved from wolf-like animals. So it is a very, very old dog. In fact, the age of the Bali dogs is thought to be older than the dingo, a native Australian breed. So Bali dog is really, really special, and most of Balinese don't really know about this. And Bali dog has a unique characteristic. Despite living side by side with humans, Bali dogs usually live in packs, with one of alpha as the leader, and they don't really become domestic animals. If you already live in Bali, you can see like they just hanging out together like one pack and not really stay at home like other breed dogs. So what is about dog meat trade in Bali? Like until now, Bali has not been able to get out of the rabies endemic status, and this is suspected to be related to the dog meat trade in Bali. Like eating dog is not really common in Bali, but nowadays there's so many dog meat traders we can see on the street. And in the dog meat trade, the distribution of the dogs from one area to another can expand the spread of rabies. In addition, dog meat process does not have operational and hygienic standards, considered to be at high risk of spreading zoonotic disease, including rabies and other diseases. The dog meat trade is also closely related to the number of cases of lost pet dogs to the street dogs being poisoned for their meat. It can be said that the consumption of dog meat has very high health risks. On the other hand, the dog meat trade that is spreading in Bali is inversely proportional to the culture values adopted by the Balinese people who tend to respect the existence of dogs. The complexity of the problem in the dog meat trade is what was later raised in the Ulam Asu movie. So what is video advocacy? Yayasan Sepak Buana is a local yayasan in Bali. They start their education program by creating successful campaign of Save Bali Dogs in 2012 on Twitter, which became a trending topic in Indonesia. Seeing a potential in youth, the education program continued into street feeding and movie screening. So Yayasan Sepak Buana is one of the yayasan that works in animal welfare in Bali who really concerned to the education of animal welfare. And they have played several movies like The Cove, Dancing Monkeys, Bali, the Island of Dogs, which is made by Professor Dr. Lawrence Blair, and Ulam Asu itself. Movie screening is seen as one of the most appropriate forms of campaign to do in Bali. By watching a movie, audience will get information through audiovisual form so that the information is easier to understand. Especially for the campaigns against the dog meat trade, Yayasan Sepak Buana uses Ulam Asu as a form of video advocacy. Yayasan Sepak Buana views that Ulam Asu is able to convey information on why the dog meat trade in Bali needs to be fought through his movie. Education is needed so that people understand the danger behind the dog meat trade, and Ulam Asu package it in a documentary form that is easy for anyone to understand. So in video advocacy, there is a process of integrating video into an advocacy effort to achieve the higher tangible result to influence the ongoing campaign. In this case, so this is the process that Yayasan Sepak Buana did to conducting campaign against the dog meat trade in Bali. They integrating the Ulam Asu movie as an advocacy video, and this is the several steps that Yayasan Sepak Buana pays attention to. So the first one, they define the goal, which is to provide education about the dangers of the dog meat trade to the wider community so that they are willing to be involved in effort to fight against the dog meat trade in Bali. And the second one, Yayasan Sepak Buana do discuss with other organizations and communities that have worked on the same issue. So on this discussion, they talk about what methods have been worked and what have not worked in this issue, and they find that movie screening is one of the best methods to do the campaign. And the third, they analyze the style and the strength of theirself, of Yayasan Sepak Buana. So Yayasan Sepak Buana always choose the path of advocacy in every issue it rise, because Yayasan Sepak Buana believes that education is one the most powerful things they can do to do campaign about animal welfare issues.
Okay, can we have just only 1 minute for the conclusions?
Sorry. Okay, so the next they define the target and they determine the level of involvement. So Ulam Asu, the form of Ulam Asu movie is participant observation documentary. In video advocacy, this is known as participatory video, which used to develop a content as a way to help document and a way to identify solution to the challenge. And the genre is the investigative documentary, where the director is the main character who investigate the dog meat trade. In this way, the audience can feel truly in every scene in the film and share the emotional experience of filmmaker. So this is why Ulam Asu can work as an advocacy video, because people can really know about the issue by seeing the filmmaker do investigation about the dog meat trade in Bali. So this is some of the example of the scene. In the first scene, you can see this is the investigation scene, and the second scene, this is the scene that maybe give the most powerful impact to the audience, because they from the visual element is a reactive observationalism, where the audience can see how they slaughter a dog, and without any verbal element like dialogue. It's just only the sound of the dog being slaughtered. This is gives the really impact to people who watch this. So they feel really sorry for the dog, and they then change their mind to against the dog meat trade in Bali. So the conclusion, Ulam Asu is used as a video advocacy by Yayasan Bali-Bhuwana in their educational program as a process of integrating documentary movie into advocacy efforts. Real result and impact on the campaign against the dog meat trade were achieved by building public awareness through the video advocacy by playing Ulam Asu in movie screening educational program. Through the element of the movie, Ulam Asu works as media resistant of the dog meat trade. Facts about the cruelty that occurred in the dog meat trade are presented through verbal and visual elements in the movie. It provides new perspective to the audience resistant of the dog meat trade. Ulam Asu presents a strong emotional influence through a visual and verbal elements. It is able to connect the audience with personal stories that they have experienced with Bali dogs. Ulam also managed to become advocacy video that is used by Yayasan Bali-Bhuwana that is influenced the ideology of the audience, causing support to save Bali dog from dog meat trade. Thank you, Ibu.
Yes, thank you very much for a very interesting presentations from Desa Putu, Yogi Antari, MSN. So the entitled Ulam Asu Advocacy Against the Dog Meat Trade in Bali, which is directed by Ibu Raditya Pandit, right, in release in 2018. Ulam Asu has been used to advocate the resistance against the dog meat trade by Yayasan Bali-Bhuwana through their education program. That's very, very interesting to be discussed. Well, thank you very much for fourth of the speakers that we have for today in these second sessions for the second day of the Global Arts Creativity Conference for today. And we are moving on to the questions and answer session, which is available in the chat room by Zoom. And I have one of the first questions from Professor Bapak Profesor Nyoman Sedana. It is dedicated to Ibu Desa. Yeah, dear Ibu Desa, how does the dog meat taste like? Like what? Is the meat fried or soup like meatball? That's the questions. So this is for Ibu Desa Yogi.
Thank you for the question, Bapak Inyoman Sedana. Actually, I never eat dog meat.
Yes.
First, because I really love dogs and I'm very conscious of what I eat, so I never eat it. But I know that here in Indonesia, we have a lot of meat. So people tend to eat like exotic meat, like bats, kittens, or monkey, or dogs, or everything, and they just think that it will work something to their health, like it will give you more energy, it will give you more strength, or it will heal your asthma or anything. But actually, it's not. Like we do some research on the dog meat, and there's contain nothing special in the meat actually. Like the protein in the meat is just like other meats, like cows or pig. But the problem is the danger of eating dog meat is more than other meat, because first it's not a farm product. So and the other problem is in Bali we still have rabies, and then it's really there are a lot of cases of lost dogs on the street, like people poison dogs on the street and to get their meat. So when you eat dog meat, you never know where it came from. Yes. Is it the dog in good condition or no? So I will say do not try it. Do not try it, because it has more negative impact than a goodness. So you better not.
Yes, that's right. So I can see of your point of the answers. That's from the questions from Professor Inyoman Sedana. Thank you for the discussions about that. Yeah, I really agree with you, because we have to, we have to see how is the conditions of the dog, for the dog meat. Is it healthy and is it good conditions? But personally, of course, I really think to consume the dog meat, right? Because they're so cute, and then we just really love the animals to be around with us. Thank you very much, Ibu Desa Yogi, and we are still waiting for some of the questions from all of the participants, but maybe I won't, because we are still waiting for that. I would like to ask, okay, it's coming here again. May I suggest you to make it into dance drama so the people can understand the theme better? Okay, this is still from Bapak Profesor Nyoman Sedana. So yes, maybe you can have the suggestions back again to Ibu Desa to make the dance drama so that the people can understand the theme better. Okay, we can accept that for a suggestion. Thank you very much, Professor Sedana. And then, oh yes, we have the next questions from Bapak Ketut Saryada. Okay, Bapak, how are you today? He's asking to Igor Amanajaz, by watching the choreography or bird and parents, what is source of the dance movement that you get? So how is the source, what is the source of the dance movement that you get from if you're comparing into that Brazilian culture and also Balinese culture into the choreography that you can get?
Hello, Bapak. Thanks for your question. From the bird character, much of the movements and the structure of the choreography were based on baris, baris tunggal, and garuda. Though the music was inspired in Legong Kungtu, for the which the movements and the structure of the choreography were inspired in Matagede, Sidakarya, and Jauk Manis. And the music also was inspired in Matagede and Jauk Manis. It's important to explain that all the choreographies that we are creating, they are all based on structures of traditional choreographies, like papasong, pangawak, pakat, ngopalantan. So all the movements are coming from the traditional theater. Just 1% comes from abroad. That is in the witch choreography that I asked to Kariasa, which made the composition for gamelan, to insert it's not 1 minute, it's 30 seconds of the music from Brazil reproduced in gamelan. So in this 30 seconds, I use movements from Brazil. Thank you.
Wow, that was really great explanations, and I think Bapak Ketut Saryada already accepted very well, because yes, the combinations between two of the cultures in Brazil and also in Bali, you can make a really great collaborations in choreography. Thank you very much, Igor. Thank you very much, Ibu Desa Yogi, and thank you also for Ibu Dr. Dewi Yulianti, and thank you for Bapak Dr. Iwan Karja also for all the presentations for today in these second sessions of the second day of this international conference or Global Art Creativity of Bali-Bhuwana Waskita of Isi Denpasar. Well, because the time is already up, and then this is the end for our session for today. And before I will giving back again to the time to the master of ceremony for today, maybe we can have photo sessions together. I would like to have all of you to turn on the videos, and we will have the photo sessions together. Terima kasih kepada seluruh penyaji hari ini dan juga kepada participants, for all the participants who are still with us. Just to remember that we will share the link for our absentee or the attendance list just right after this program to be ended, and we will have the photo session. Yes, thank you very much. Everybody, please turn on the video. And we are so happy to have all of you are still here with us this is a great opportunity. Okay, maybe I will count everybody to have the first session of the photo. Okay, I will count in 3. Okay, I still have some of participants. Okay, I will count in 3, 2, 1. Okay, smile. Okay. All right, one more. Let's have the second one more time. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I am very happy and very, very delightful to see all of you here by the Zoom for this presentation for the second session. And now it's time for me to giving back again the time to our MC, beautiful MC, Ibu Tisna.
Thank you very much, our moderator, Ibu Niluh Ayu Cempaka Dewi. And it was a great, great presentation from all our speakers today. So distinguished guests, our adorable speakers with all their great ideas and also sharing their experience with us today. It's really coming up to the best conclusion for our conference today. And we would like to also remind you to attend our third day seminar for tomorrow with all our invited speakers and also for the call paper presenters also. And it will start at 9:30. So please make sure that you have the link for tomorrow. And we will see you again on the last day of our Global Art Creativity Bali-Bhuwana Waskita for the last day tomorrow on the 30th of September 2021. Thank you very much, dear all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day and see you next time.